So hey there, thought I would just do like a little review of the things I have done to my Quest Angler 10. I'm not sure if it's considered a 10E. It is wired from front to rear. Um, so that might make it a 10E. I can't remember. But yeah, just thought I would just show you what I've done to it, the mods that I've made. Might help somebody out, that's new into the fishing scene or tiny boat scene. So yeah, let's check it out. So hey, I'm throwing this in here last minute. I'm sitting here. I was editing this video and getting ready to download it onto YouTube, and the description is that I was going to put in is too long. It won't let me do it. For the stuff that I used in the videos that I had added in for where I had installed the stuff. So what I did was I made a playlist on my YouTube video channel. So if you want to know how these products were installed, and in the description box, there's usually a list of stuff that I used and how you can get them. So we just have to do it individually with each video. So I'm sorry about that, but they just won't let me put the stuff in. They just say that it's too long. So just go to the individual video and check it out from there. So again, sorry about that. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot. So this is my Quest Angler 10, and I got it from Dick's Sporting Goods. And we'll just start from the front and just work our way around and come back up. This plate here I made. I could not find one. I had some metal laying around the house, and I do some fabrication at work sometimes, so I actually made this. Just bolted it up, put some eyelets in through here, and that's my chain for my boat. Usually this is hooked to that, but yeah, here's my rope. I did have a smaller rope on it. I had a rope like this on it, like this one here, but it was it was cutting into your hands too much when you would lower the boat and try to get the boat on the trailer. So I upgraded to a bigger one, and that works out a whole lot better. In addition to that, I also installed these hooks, which these are too small. They worked good for the little rope, but I've got some 6-inch ones to go for the bigger rope. I just haven't installed those yet. I've got a navigation light. We don't do that much night fishing, but I thought that I would just buy one just to have. And it's got little clips on it, and I just hook it to the battery. Everything is run from these two batteries. I've got two Deep Cycle. I got them from Walmart. They're Everstarts. They're 27D series. I am going to be upgrading after these go bad to lithiums, just for the weight. These batteries weigh a ton. I've got me a little cheapie in Virginia. It's a relay circuit and a circuit breaker, and I've got these connectors that I really love. These connectors, they're really cool. I got them from Amazon, as well as the circuit breakers. In Virginia, you're required to have a circuit breaker on any electric motor, so I've got one in the front because I do run a motor in the front and the rear. I have these batteries running parallel, the front and the rear, and that's easy to do with the hookups that this boat comes with. I charge my batteries with this Viking 4-amp charger, and it's also a maintainer. Once it charges, it's got a microprocessor in it that will maintain the battery, and I really like these. I use these at work for maintaining batteries on cars that I'm servicing, and it's excellent. I love them. And I got that from Harbor Freight. There's my fishing box. I used to carry a bigger box, but now I just take everything out the bigger box and put it in a little box, because this boat, it gets crowded even though it's a 10-foot with the batteries, and then by the time you put a cooler, and you know, we usually a buddy goes with me. We each have our own individual small cooler, and then we've both got our boxes and our rods and all that, so it can get a little tight, even though it's not too bad. Crooked Creek paddles, we got one on each side. I've just got them mounted with these little broom hooks, is what they're called. I got them from oh shoot, where was it? It was Home Depot. Got those from Home Depot. Now I do keep a zip tie, and I can take this zip tie on and off, and just to be on the safe side, because I did have a paddle fly out, not on this boat, but on my John boat when I was going down the road one day. So that's just an extra precaution, and I can reuse those over again. Right here is my Scotty mount for my transducer. It was up here, you see them little holes there, but I ended up moving it back here because I originally had my Garmin right here, and I didn't like that because it was in the way of my poles and stuff. So I mounted it back here. I also fabricated this plate so that I could put my Garmin on this setup here, and all this is Scotty stuff. I did get this from Amazon though. This is a Garmin mount that I bought, an extra one, and I have a Garmin that I use for when I reservoir fish. I've got a Garmin 4, and I just recently, well, I say recently, I bought it last year. I haven't even used it yet. A Garmin 7 CV, I believe is what it is, and I'm going to do that one here. And I'm thinking about mounting the Garmin up front from a buddy. The good part is, and in case you want to know this wire, which I bought an extra one, I got that from Amazon too. The wire that comes with the Striker 4 also works for the 7CV. So if you want to upgrade, you can use the same wiring. I bought this extra wire for this boat, and I have the original wire that came with the Garmin 4 in that boat, so I don't have to transfer the wiring and everything. Back here, extra battery. Of course, we got the circuit breaker for the connector for the motor in the back. I also have a percentage gauge that shows me how much percentage I have left in the battery, which is nice. Now, these seats did not come with this boat, but I got these free from Dick's because they actually messed up and sold me the boat with the wrong seats, and they didn't have the seats that originally came with the boat. So these are Wise seats from Dick's. I really like them. They're extremely comfortable. I want to say they sell for like around $70. So I got like $140 pair of seats because they messed up, and it was really nice that they did that for me. It was really cool. They were really awesome, which is where I bought the boat from, was Dick's Sporting Goods. These little holders here, they do great to hold my stuff in, my rods and all. I've got one up front on the other side from a buddy when he goes fishing. He puts his in the opposite direction so he can reach his. Back here I got a homemade, it's an 18-pound anchor. My buddy, this came off of his old boat that he used to have way back in the day that we used to use, that he sold. I've got a scupper plug that I installed in it with a plug. There's a plug. You can see the plug, but the plug. And I generally don't put the plug in until I'm ready to go, because sometimes my cover, which is laying on the John boat cover, will actually seep a little bit, even though I sprayed it with Scotchgard. And so I leave it in there so it'll drain. Over here I keep this for when I'm actually in transport. I will connect that to my trailer right there, and I'll run it through that seat over to the other side. There's something else I also installed. I got these from Home Depot, and they're used to hold galvanized pipe up against whatever you're putting it on, brick or whatever. And what it does is it keeps that seat from tipping back all the way, because sometimes on canoe slides, I've got one on the other side, on canoe slides, these will tend to tip back with the weight and the angle. And I've also forgot to put the seat down. Generally in transport, I will fold the seat down and I will turn it this way to keep the wind from getting up under it. One day I forgot that, and it tipped back, and I almost lost one of these seats. So generally that's what I do when I tow it, is I slide that one back and then I slide this one up against it. Like I said, I got an oar on this side over here. Over here I keep a few tools. I've got, this is in case a circuit breaker goes. I can actually bypass the circuit breaker with this wire right here, and I always carry that with me. This here is kind of a cool little tool, and it's a saw. We do a lot of river stuff, and sometimes you might have to cut through a branch or something that's in the water, and this thing, I'm gonna tell you what, this thing cuts through a tree like butter. This thing is awesome. You can use it if it's underwater and you have to get over something. But I think I got that from Amazon too. I carry a screwdriver with me just in case, you never know. This is a battery nut wrench. I carry that with me, and all this stuff stays in here. It doesn't fly out. I got my fishing grabber, hook remover, and I got this from Amazon. This thing here is pretty cool. It kind of like opens up. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. It kind of opens up and locks in place. It's pretty slick. It also extends, so you can extend it, which, I mean, in the rivers that we do, that's all you really need. You just pull this back and it folds down. It's really nice. Most of this stuff I got from Amazon, a store I love to hate. My boss gave me that first aid kit, and I just got that strapped onto the seat there. It works out well. Of course, another paddle, Crooked Creek. I really like the Crooked Creek ones. If you ever break one of these, you can replace them, which is kind of cool. I never have. The motors, the Minn Kota is a 30 thrust, and that one goes on the front. And then I just recently bought this Pexmore, and I think it's either 50 or 55. I can't remember. I have been extremely happy with that. That thing is a big game changer. It's also got a battery gauge on it, which is kind of cool, which I generally use percentage gauge on my battery. Another fish holder up here. And yeah, the boat came with these rod holders. My buddy uses them. He catfishes sometimes when we go. There's one on the other side over there under that battery charger. These cup holders I installed myself, and there's a video that I have when I first bought this boat. That was the first mod that I made. And I've got them in the front and the rear, and they're really good for holding your cups. And I also use them for like baits. Instead of just throwing them in the floor, old baits, I just stick them in there. It kind of serves as like a little trash can, which is nice. And then I've got this little set up here that I can use when I used to pull it around the yard, but I don't do that anymore since I bought the trailer. So, but I like to keep it with me just in case. You know, you can use it as a dock rope or something like that. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I've got into this boat. I don't know how much it is. I did put those drain plugs in because every time I use this boat, it gets water in it somehow. I don't know where or how, but it does. Some people say it comes in through here, but I mean, we never, I don't know, we might get pretty close. You look at that water line on that thing. That came from this weekend though. We had a little issue with one boater that was going up and down the river with his outboard motor, and apparently he doesn't know what boat etiquette is. When you pass somebody, you should slow down so you don't create a wake. And but yeah, that's generally the water line of this boat. It's about right there, so it's kind of close, but we got a lot of weight in this thing. I'm a good 350. I mean, not 350, listen to me, 330. I'm a good 330. My buddy, I don't know how much he weighs. He's an older guy though, but by the time you put these two batteries in, these motors and everything, we are way over the 500 pound weight limit. I think that's what it is. Yeah. This does hold a, well, it says 2 persons or 500 pounds, so I don't know. It might be more than that. That's maximum capacity. Person's motor gear 535 and an extra 35. So you look at it, 600 pounds maybe. And I'm pretty sure we're way over that. But it's a good little boat. I really like it. It's this is actually called a 10-3 is what it is. 10-3, 10 feet 3 inches. The trailer is a different story. It did not come with the trailer. I bought that just for this boat. And I got this from my tractor supply store. It's a 5x8 is what it is. 1,500 pounds. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It didn't come with the jack. I put that on separate. And it's got the winch, which we use the winch for when we go on canoe slips. It's just a whole lot easier. And actually we use it to get the boat on too at the boat ramp sometimes. It just makes it a whole lot easier. It's a Badlands ZXR 2500. Probably overkill, but it works, and I got it on sale. So yeah, this cover didn't come with it. I had to buy that separate. But yeah, it works out good. And I have this wired to my battery up front, which is that wire right there, and those 2 connectors, so that I can run this wireless, which works out pretty good. And it came wireless. I didn't do anything to it. The motor has a button, a receiver, and you can use it. It works in really handy when you're at the bottom of a long slip. So I did buy a spare with this. It did not come with a spare. I installed bearing buddies on it. Also installed these turnbuckles so that it extended the boat when it comes off. Because before, what was happening was, it was with the weight in it, it would tilt like this coming off the trailer, and it would hit the water like this and scoop up. And a couple of, well, the first time we did that, we almost lost the boat because it didn't take on water, but oh, it was really close. So I seen somebody else, it was a picture on Facebook, and I wish I could remember where I got it from, because that's a really good mod right there. But you have to, this turnbuckle did not come welded like that. I had to weld that, and what was happening was that weld, or that round eyelet, was spreading out as we were loading and unloading the boat, and it was actually dropping this tailgate down. My next mod is going to be to do away with those lights right there, and I'll make a video of that. I put those on there and they worked out great until I stepped on one and broke it all to pieces. So I have an LED light that I'm going to mount right here under this. And the only reason for that is I just, at nighttime, I want people to know that this trailer is down. So, yeah, I think that's about it for everything I've got in the boat. I will try to come up with a list and put it in the description of where I got this stuff from, and yeah, so that you'll know where to get everything in case you want to do this. And I just use regular old screws for all this stuff. I just screw everything, and I don't have much screwed into this boat, but I just use regular screws, and they seem to hold up good. They're stainless steel. They are stainless steel, but I've never had any issues with anything falling off. As far as the white light, because I'm sure I'm going to get a question about the white light. I do have a white light that I made for the navigation, but I have not installed it on this boat because I don't know if I'm going to or not. We don't generally do a lot of night fishing, so but I do have one for it that I can just hook to the battery if I need it. The only thing is I need to come up with one of these to mount it to. It's on a monopod is what it's on, so that I can adjust it up and down, because I found out that it's actually supposed to be 3.3 feet higher than where the front one is. So yeah, and I've also been trying to figure out a way that I could mount a camera onto that at the same time. So yeah, that's about it for my Quest Angler 10.3. You want to get specific. So here's how I keep my boat covered. It stays on the trailer most of the time. The only time it really comes off is when I have to go cut grass somewhere, like at work or something. I have to unload it, but I got this top on there, and it's stretched pretty tight. And I got these clamps. It was a bag of clamps, and they came in different sizes. I've actually got them on my John boat there also. And yeah, that pretty much keeps the water out of it. I do have one tear in it, which was due to me because I accidentally caught it on that there, except it was on the other side. But I got some Gorilla Tape and taped it up, and it works fine. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, if you have any questions about the boat, just drop them in the comment. I'll be happy to answer them if I can. So yeah, I appreciate you watching, and keep on fishing.